Prims Bulavindra Vandi Harilala ki Jai. Siddharam, everybody, and welcome to our 14th session of Bhagavad. Let's all stand as we begin with Arti and invocation mantras. As well. Put your hands together, everybody. Ladies, cover your hair as we are about to invocate the Lord. Let's do it properly. Sajam cha Varti sanyuktam Grahina yojitam mayam Deepam grihana devesham Trailokyatimirapaham Jai Jai Bhagavat Bhagavan ki है आरती पापियों को पाप से है तारती जय जय sing together everybody भगवान की है आरती पापियों को पाप से है तारती ये अमर ग्रंथ ये मुक्ति पंथ ये पंचम वेद निराला नव ज्योति जगाने वाला ये अमर ग्रंथ ये मुक्ति पंथ ये पंचम वेद निराला नव ज्योति जगाने वाला हरि ज्ञान यही वरदान यही हरि ज्ञान यही वरदान यही जग की मंगल के आरती पापियों को पाप से है तारती जय जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती पापियों को पाप से है तारती ये शांति गीत पावन पुनीत पापों को मिटाने वाला हरि दर्श दिखाने वाला ये शांति गीत पावन पुनीत पापों को मिटाने वाला हरि दर्श दिखाने वाला है सुख करनी है दुख हरनी सुख करनी है दुख हरनी ये मधुसूदन के आरती हो पापियों को पाप से है तारती जय जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती पापियों को पाप से है तारती ये मधुर बोल जग पंद खोल सन मार्ग दिखाने वाला बिगड़ी को बनाने वाला ये मधुर बोल जग पंद खोल सन मार्ग दिखाने वाला बिगड़ी को बनाने वाला श्री राम यही घनश्याम यही श्री राम यही घनश्याम यही प्रभु की महिमा के आरती हो पापियों को पाप से है तारती जय जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती पापियों को पाप से है तारती जय जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती पापियों को पाप से है तारती गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो 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 गोविंद बोलो गोपाल बोलो गोविंद बोलो गोपाल बोलो राधा रमन हरि गोविंद बोलो राधा रमन हरि Let's pray together, everybody. Om Gajananam Kapeta Jumbo Palacharabhashanam Umasutam Sho Kavinashakarakam Namami Viganeshwara Sarvamangalamangale Shive Sarvartha Sadhike Sharanye Gauri Narayani Namostute Om Guru Brahma. Everybody. Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Om Namah Shivaya. Everybody. Om Namah Shivaya. 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 Time to say that magic mantra, the 12th syllable mantra. We're praying for the sins that we all have. Let it burn like ash. Let it fall off our backs and change our experience, dear God. So I'm saying prayer with a purpose. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. One more time. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. Devotees, please have your seat. Make yourself comfortable. Sitaram and welcome to everybody, all protocols, all our Babas and their respective families. Sitaram and welcome all groups, everybody. So much to talk about. We've been listening to some Katha taken from Skandha number 10. In the opening, we talked about what Bhagavad means. If you're now joining me, if you're now looking on, Bhagavad translates into the body, that book, which is the body of Bhagavan. By listening to it, practicing Shravanam, in the conversation between Shabri and Sri Ram, the 9 forms of bhakti. If, let's just say, God cut off my hand, and I don't have hands, will I never get to do puja? I can't do the traditional worship. I have a stroke. What will I do? He says, if you can't physically offer. I'm in the hospital, I'm on the plane, I'm on the train, I'm in a different place even. Listen to the prayer. Practice using your organ to hear it, and by hearing it, you get the Ashirvad as if you did physically the prayer. This is what makes, if you look at your satsang at home, if Pandit Neil is on television, if Pandit Sunil is on television, and they're reading the best discourse for you, and you get to listen to it, you get the blessing as if you've done the worship. Just as equal as if you were sitting by the Bedi doing the offerings on the altar. Go one step further. Bhagavad is an opportunity to practice listening to prayer. I may not get to sit by the Bedi. I don't get to do the arati. Maybe the belly spoiled for the lady. Maybe somebody died in the family. Maybe for whatever reason. I don't do the prayer. But Bhagavad is a communal worship now. People come together, sit together, and they listen together. They practice another thing called darshanam. They stand, at least let's say on the arati part, and you see the person doing arati. If arati be the circumambulation of the murti, you're going around. and you're offering something, you don't see the person putting prasad, so you might think why or what is art if you really get into it. A gift of light energy and the gift of heat. Dear Devta, please accept this. In my life, when I need help, everybody getting dengue, everybody getting threats, business people are getting warning. If you don't pay your protection, you're going to get kidnapped. Your daughters, your sons are going to get raped. In the same little Trinidad. Dear God, when I need protection most, today I'm offering light. Send the light, send the solution the day I need it the most. Send the protection, send the person. You see, when I get the flat tire, has it ever happened to you? Imagine me with my big belly and my white curtain and I get a flat tire side the highway and somebody will pull up behind. Pundit, what you know about changing tire, boy? Move soon. And this good Samaritan may come and help you in your time of need. That goodness don't come just like that. But moments like this, where you really get to endeavor in good, you will reap the good one day. It's just we doesn't know when it will come. Some people go to the hospital and meet a horrible experience. And the same hospital, another person goes and they get to meet a Devta or a Devi or some angel that just, auntie come, let me help you, I'll fix you up, don't worry. And the person could be frightened if you ever went in the hospital to visit a relative. As a pundit, you go in the hospital to pray for people. Pundit, I don't know if I'll come out. After the anesthesia, I don't know what will happen. And the person, forget the pundit now. The nurse, maybe a different race, different religion, the person give you so much of confidence and collective support that they are not obligated to do. That you get through your scenario. You survive. If today, as we sit for our Bhagavad, as we continue, if you think blessings will only come from Hindu people, I'm a Hindu, so blessings must come from like and like, wrong. If blessings will only come from your race, you are wrong. Because trouble don't work like that. Neither does blessings. If you are sitting here, please reflect when you go home, take up your Gita and see. You can't be racial and prejudicial and call yourself a devotee of Lord Krishna. If you have that racial tendency inside of you, only people with my hair texture is people. When you go to the doctor, the mechanic, or whosoever, make sure it's only that race taking care of you, you know. Don't ask God for blessings. You hate other people, but then you want them to love you. Our Bhagavad talks about if God made everything. Just like in Christianity, when people were creating the subject called biology, and everybody looked at the rose and saw the symmetry or the God line in how the petals come out equal. Have you ever opened a corn husks and see how it's distributed? It's not more on one side and less on the other side. But just like the human body, when the girl gets pregnant and the line, God makes a line on the belly. This line of symmetry that is existing from flowers to animal to everything. The biologist initially was the person who looked at the work of God, the art of God, the thing that God makes, and saw the beauty in it and said, wow, this is worth drawing, this is worth studying. Why? Because this is God work. God make it. And if I study the art of God and his work, it is equivalent to prayer. So many priests became biologists because they looked at how the miracle of God's science, God's creation, how it worked. When you look at the evolution of life, when we were talking in our last session of how Hanuman Baba is neither monkey nor human, he is a cross just in between. In science today we know there's something called Homo erectus, where the spine is straight and the thumb exists. These things were not there, are not there till today in the monkey genus. In the human genus now is different to what they had in terms of the jaw. When you watch Planet of the Apes, you see it. These shows that we are bombarded by with today and children hunting to go cinema over it have a lot of Hindu traits in the simple example of Hanuman Baba. When you listen to your discourse in this Bhagavad, as we trace the story of Lord Vishnu and getting to understand his body, by body, the teachings of Lord Vishnu in this case, the person is able to change the karma. Everything we do, listening to the prayer, watching the prayer, making the offering, eating the prasad, drinking the charan amrit, you are trying to get as much good punyam, good karma inside of you as you could, whether it is to bow, to eat something blessed, etc. So in keeping with that, we have been endeavoring into different discourses. As the time went by, we talked about why did he build Dwarka? How did he get married to Rukmani? His first son, Pradyamna. We talked about different, just now we did where Satyajit died. Satyajit gave him the girl called Satyabhama to marry. And in this discourse where he gets married, you get to hear the blessing of giving a good girl into a family. How much blessing it has for the father to train somebody. When we were talking about what a mamu is and how they're supposed to be and how they're supposed to add value. In Bhagavad, we hear about Shaukani, who is the opposite. He's a bad guy in the position of Mamu. Kans was the killer, the murderer, in the guise of Mamu. If the Mamu is the only male that would love you like your mother and guide you in the same way. And for this reason, when you go by the doubles man, the friend, the anybody, Mamu, how are you going? It is indicative of a loving, respectful tag for somebody we love and we respect and expect we could talk to. Then we did just now where Jamwan from Ramayana, his daughter gets married to Lord Krishna, Jamwanti. And that is significant because it has a child from that marriage that has a lot of value. For the person who today thinks that as we sit together, I love Lord Krishna. But the point of saying all of this, these details, do you know Lord Krishna? When you hear he stayed in his guru, what's his guru name again? I don't know. How long he stayed by his guru? 64 days. And very quickly learned all the art of becoming a politician. Remember in his childhood days growing up, all he knows about is minding and rearing cow. He doesn't grow up next to Vasudeva sitting on the throne watching how to learn and how to adjudicate, how to do. He grows up in a field. But Sandapani Rishi, his godfather, had to teach him quickly how to be a king. So that when Dwarka was made, he was ready. And he started to protect people, pass judgments, etc. This new role came upon him. We heard last night how he gets the name Murari, where Satyabhama and himself has to fly on Garud to destroy this bad guy. And in it, as he is doing what? He came on the earth to rid the earth of some of the weight, the bad, and the bad people. People that did unrighteous things. So in all the episodes, you are seeing where he's triumphed over bad. And this constant element of good over bad is there chapter after chapter in Bhagavad. The person listening to Bhagavad, this whole conversation that we tend to read from, is between a guru and a shishya. The shishya is the grandson of Arjun, Raja Parikshit. Raja Parikshit is asking every question under the sun. I didn't know. I know my grandfather, the guy on the Gita book. My grandfather, understand timeline what we say in here. This is his grandfather. My grandfather's cousin, Arjun and Krishna, are not friends. They are cousins. Kunti and Vasudeva, brother and sister. He says, I know some of his lila, I know some of his story, but apparently I didn't know much. I didn't know he had children. Who was his children? He has children. He has daughters. There are many people who till today will sing Ramayana, and they never knew that Sri Ram was a grandfather. That where all Iran, Iraq, all these different places, that they, up to now, you have the Kush Valley in Afghanistan, and that was part and parcel of the empire of Kush, from Lavan Kush. In our Dharma, when we sit to talk, understand the depth of your Dharma, and when you say Sanatan Dharma and it's eternal, think about the span of time and information that is collected. And when you get into your text and you say, I am a bhakt of Krishna, I believe in Krishna, we must know what we believe in. Vindravan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. Everybody, before we go into our discourse, put your hands together. Let's do our Sumiran. And if this Sumiran has a purpose, it is where you pray. Whilst I'm saying this part, you say your part. Dear God, by your grace, I've been afforded the opportunity to be in the company of some good people doing good things. I have this problem, I have that problem, I have an anxiety problem, I have a fear. The children, the grandchildren have a problem. By listening to the Bhagavad, please manifest in my life in the form of a solution. My problem is, Talk it out. Use the opportunity to say a praise. Riddhi Siddhi Data Siddhi Sadana Varana Varana Sumiro Barambar Madana Kadana Ke Lal Ko Ganapati Kripa Nidhan Jnana Khani Ananda Bhavana Dehu Mohi Vardhan Varano Vasha Bhagavat Jai Shivananda Kanda Bhutanata Bhav Bhaya Harana Bhakti Vishaya Nirvan Gauravarana Mangala Karna He Braja Chandra Mukunda Braja Bhushana Dushana Harana Katahu Bhav Bhaya Panda Charana Sharana Le Anakara Jai 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 Jagadisha Sevata Shesha Mahesha Mahimamita Veva Veda Veda Janata Rahe Riddhi Siddhi Data Siddhi Sarana Varana Varana Sumiro Barambar Sumiro Barambar Madana Kadana Ke Lal Ko Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. So here the question now. You believe in Krishna? Yes, Baba. Good. Did you ever hear about the time Lord Shiva had to fight Krishna? Do you know there's an episode where the two of them lock horns, figuratively speaking, and they have to fight? Do you know that in the episode of Bhagavad, there's a fight between Lord Shiva and Krishna? There's a prayer between Lord Krishna and Shiva. And then there is a saving of Lord Shiva coming to the end by Krishna. That Shiva gets to get into Bhagavad discourse, Krishna Lila. And he's so in love, he's so happy to be in the company of Lord Vishnu. Remember, all this is another avatar of Lord Vishnu. When you hear about Sri Ram, Lord Shiva is the one who comes as Durvasa Rishi, beside the Hanuman. Durvasa Rishi is the person who puts Sri Ram on notice. It's time for you to go by getting rid of Lakshman. Sita Mata had gone back in the earth. But it is only when Lakshman brother says he has to go, then Sri Ram makes the decision. It's time to wrap up. It's time to head back to Vaikuntha. Lord Shiva takes it upon himself to always have the role to go and remind Lord Vishnu, time to go, time to get up. When he is in the Varaha form, when he's in nursing form, they fight. When in that Varaha form we get Kush grass or Kusha grass, because of Lord Shiva and Lord Vishnu interaction. And this incident, this Bhagavad, has it where Lord Shiva cannot help. He's helpless. He wants to go, he wants to see, and he wants to enjoy the Katha, the unfolding, the Leela, the details of Lord Krishna or Lord Vishnu. In chapter 61 of Skandha 10, we enter where Sukdev Goswami had just told Raja Parikshit that Satyajit, the one who had the big glowing gem, was also Lord Krishna's father-in-law. That the girl called Satyabhama was given to Krishna for him to marry. This is the girl who was on top Garud fighting Narakasur. This same girl was married to Krishna. So when he told him this, Raja Parikshit then says, so there are so many parts of this Krishna we don't know. Could you tell me about his family? Could you tell me about all the different girls he got married to? And the children, tell me about his children. You've said, Pradyamuna, I heard you mention something about Samba. Could you just give me some story about them? Let's hear what happens as he started to talk about one by one the 8 queens of Lord Krishna. Jaya Bhole Baba Tab Sharanam, Baba Tab Sharanam, Jaya Bhole Baba Tab Sharanam, Jaya Bhole Baba Tab Sharanam, Jaya Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam, Jaya Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam, Charu Desha Sadbhuteshwar Charu Deheshwar Yatam Viryana Vida Sadhu Rupas He Guna Ishka Pradyamuna Jaya Bhole Baba Tab Sharanam, 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 Jaya Samba Sada Shiva 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 Tab Sharanam. Umapati Mahadeva ki Jai. For your knowledge, he says each queen he got married 8 times. From different district he had chosen a bride. He says from Rukmani, Pradyamuna is the eldest. Charu Desha, Sudesha, Charu Deha, Satchu, Charu Gupta, Bhadra Charu, and the last one, Charu Chandra. Like that, he lists each one of the wives, and each one had 10 children. Each one of them creates boys as well as girls, different scenario. And after listing out all the children of Krishna, Raja Parikshit says, so he had so many children. He got girls married, he gave in Kanyadan girl children. Sukdev Goswami says he was able to do that many times. But of all the children that he had, Pradyamuna, as we said, he is Kamdev reincarnated. Kamdev was burned by Lord Shiva and then reborn, the energy reborn as the firstborn child of Krishna. But what you just said is that he was married to the daughter of Rukmi. Rukmi is the eldest brother of Rukmini. And we heard the other night that these two, Krishna and Rukmi, the big brother of his wife, they don't get along at all. They went to war. He shaved off his head and ripped his scalp and shaved off his mustache. Lord Krishna did a number on him. How is it now, Guruji, you are saying that this man, he did not, he swore, he made a vow that he's going to kill Lord Krishna. And now you're saying he takes his daughter and gives her in dan to Lord Krishna's son. How did that happen? And he says, it's so when it was time for her to get married in the Swayambar, and all the princes are invited. From Dwarka, the eldest was sent, Pradyamna. And he went into the competition and beat everyone. And Rukmi did not want to give his daughter there. He says, what type of sin is it when your children want to go one way and you want to go in a different direction? That the heart and the mind, the soul of a father in particular, even if you see they are going down the wrong road, even if you disagree, our karma is such, we are like the goat that is tied outside the house of the butcher. That we become so loved by these young heads that we get entangled and tied to them, that we want to please them, we want to make them happy, even if it has detrimental effects, you still want to please them. And then when they are in trouble, you become in trouble. You lose your peace. And this father tried to warn his daughter, they're different, they this, they that. Don't go and marry them. And she held on that she wants to marry to the son of Lord Krishna. And the Rukmi is a very ferocious fella. He wants to drag blade and kill and do the works. And Rukmini sends a message to her brother, let them get married. Now this sounds strange because they are cousins. But you have to understand, in the Kshatri line, it happens still today in the royal family in England. To maintain the genealogy, to maintain the crown, cousins are allowed to marry cousins. It was just like that. It was a rule in those days when it came to the crown or the property. For this reason, Rukmini says, oh brother, you are my brother. Listen to me. I will take care of her. Allow them to get married. When they got married, they had a lot of festivities. And in this now, Balram is attacked by the same Rukmi and some of the other kings at the time, still remembering the old vexation and the old battles. When they had to take the daughter of Rukmi now because of this fighting and vexing and run, a proper goodbye, a proper send-off was not done. And she always remembered that how she was, this one called Rukmivati, the daughter of Rukmi, she always remembered how she was cheated of a happy moment by her father and his temper. So when she comes to Dwarka now, time passes, and that same girl, she becomes pregnant. And Lord Krishna became a grandfather to a fella by the name of Aniruddha. Aniruddha is the spitting image of Krishna. Dark, Keshava with the curly hair and all the other features. The only difference, save that stamp on his chest. That footprint that he has embedded on his chest that Lord Vishnu has. They don't have that mark, but every other semblance, they have it. Let's hear what happens with this grandchild. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol.
Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol.
Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol.
Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol.
Jai Jai Radha Ramana, Jai Jai Radha Ramana, Jai Jai Radha Ramana, Jai Jai Radha Ramana.
Jai Jai Radha Ramana, Jai Jai Radha Ramana, Jai Jai Radha Ramana, Jai Jai Radha Ramana.
Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol.
Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol.
बाणपुत्र ये शय ज्योतिश्वर भालहि बलि ये विरोचन पुत्र ये यही वनमाला हे रूप हृदय दीप्य हम मैदिनी रीप हे द्विजये आति हम जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल
Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol.
जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल
Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol.
शौनीति की पर ये रंबा सराजन मारो ये पूरा भाली को Umapati Mahadeva ki jai. Remember when Lord Vishnu came as Nursing Baba? In that long story, Nursing Baba saves Prahalad. Prahalad grows up. His grandson is Raja Bali. Bali with his tidy string on the hand. His name is immortalized. When Lord Krishna went to bring back the soul of his guru, he goes to Raj Bali in Patalok. That Raj Bali has a son. So follow the genealogy at the time there. The son of Raj Bali, the Raj Bali is the one where the dwarf Vaman takes the 3 footsteps of land, to put it in your mind. That fella who got the foot on the head from Lord Vishnu, his son is called Bana. Bana is a great king, very accomplished, won many battles, has, plundered a lot of gold, etc., land, so on. But of course, he's on his side. This entire family comes from the Daitya. They have a different focus. They conduct themselves differently, but they also have a very strong relationship with Lord Shiva. One of the features of Bhanasur is that he was a king of this place called Shonitapur. This place is blessed. In today's world, in Trinidad, some parts of Guyana, we do what we call Puja. Puja is a fancy word for dirty in different parts. They will say Vastu. They will use different terminology, but for we in English, let me just say, for the energy that lives in the land, that affects my home or my lifespan, I worship you. People in different parts of India use different terms. Same thing, different parasadas. So I could do Krishna Puja with fig, I could do Krishna Puja with vegetable, I could do Krishna Puja with prasad. Same puja. Likewise, this man believed in calling Lord Shiva to stay in the dirt around the city. Stand as a guard. Stand as a protector of this place, that if anybody tries to invade, if anybody tries to attack, my blessing must be that you yourself must stand up here and always fight. He continued to worship Lord Shiva. The Bhanasur Katha is also given in Shiv Puran in detail. He is somebody who prayed to Lord Shiva. When Lord Shiva appeared to him, he says, I wish to have the strength of 1,000 men. So Bhanasur inherited 1,000 arms. And with it, he won everybody that would come in front of him. With it, anybody he stood up to fight, he would get them. Namaste Tvam Mahadeva. One day he went to pray to Lord Shiva now. He has a problem because of his blessing. Consider this, You pray for something, you get it. And then that same thing you prayed for became a burden. He says, I prayed for 1,000 arms. Now when people see me on the battlefield, everybody just run. There is nobody that is capable or strong enough for me to fight. So I have inherited this strength, but I never get to use it. I never get to fight anybody. Could you please, this time, after doing my yag and my puja, I'm asking you now for the Ashirvad, please give me a worthy opponent. And Lord Shiva, it says here in verse 10 of chapter 62, he says, Lord Shiva looked at him and wondered, what type of arrogance and stupidity would guide a person to pray for something as trivial and we were dotish as that? You want an enemy? You want somebody worthy to fight, not win, but fight? Lord Shiva says, the day, all right, if that's what you want, the day the flag over your chariot is cut, the flag that has the peacock feather. Remember, there's a reason why Lord Krishna, you believe in Krishna, no problem. Look at his picture in front of you right there. And just tell me why his mother Yashoda put the peacock feather on the crown again. I believe in him, so tell me, it have to have a reason. Remember this, we talk about it before I say it again. There's a history behind the peacock feather. Till today, people use peacock feathers for jarring, for different things. It is used as a guard. I work in our office, so I can't put religious pictures like that. People say that's religious and they'll have a different problem. But I'll decorate with peacock feather. And the logic is this. The peacock has the blessing that on the feather, the eyes of Lord Vishnu are sitting, that black circle you see. And wherever it is facing, bad and bad people, bad works, people who wish to do you harm, has to push back. That is given in Valmiki Ramayana in the early part. There's a discourse where Ravan is a young guy here, married yet, and he come to fight the devatas just as they were doing Yagya and Havan. And they all jumped from the physical form, because when you're doing prayers, you don't want to get into conflict. This is not the time for that. They jumped into the various Vahan that was around them. So Yamraj comes out after Ravan, Bari, and he gone. Yamraj comes out at the crow and he says, anytime somebody is doing Shrad, let them feed the crow and they will have my blessing. Till today, when we have Shrad, we stick out one share of food for bird, but it doesn't really say bird, it says crow. That kind of scavenger kind of thing. Because of this relationship. Indra was hiding in the peacock, and if you watch the peacock feather, when it's young, it doesn't have the black circle. He says, I bless you. Let the eyes, the iris of Lord Vishnu sit on your feather, and wheresoever the feather is facing, bad cannot come. For this reason, it is used in prayer, decoration, etc. to ward off bad. But when Yashoda Mata tucked it in the crown, what she is saying, my child has some kind of blight. Anyway this child goes, somebody trying to kill him, lick him up, pelt him, spin him up in the air and throw him down. You know what? Wherever you have to walk, sit on it for it. Wherever you have to walk, push back the bad. Push back the bad. And that is why he wears that adornment of all the things you could have given your child. Die where you give your child a feather. You're dressing him up here like a bird now. But understand why. You go to a prayer, you see like these little fans, you see the decorator use. Look, Sham have one behind him on the corner here. People buy them. It looks like a fan, but what it is used for is the jari, to pull off negative off the person. If you go in a place and you see somebody using it, remember why. Because of the God content, this feather is used for that purpose. Vindravan Bihari Lalaki Jai. He says, so your flag has a peacock feather in it. It is the insignia of Lord Vishnu pushing away evil. So wherever you put your flag, wow, Lord Vishnu will protect it and you will win. But when that flag is cut down, that day, know that the enemy is real and the enemy is coming for you. And he will put you to test. You will lose. This Banasur took it, but you know, sometimes we all go through that. You're doing something and you don't think before you talk, or you don't think before you act. In retrospect, maybe if he was in a better day or a better mood, maybe he wouldn't have pronounced that prayer in that way. Without thinking, he said what he said. And now you will get just what you asked for. Not what you mean, not what you feel, God, you know, my heart have, no. But what you asked for, that is what you're going and get. He moved away from his prayer and he continued his day-to-day life. At this time, Banasur has a daughter by the name of Usha. And Usha dreams that night about the son of Pradyamna, Aniruddha, the grandson of Krsna. She doesn't know who this dark person is. She doesn't know who this handsome boy is, but she's holding his hand. They are close. And she's enjoying herself as if she is seeing something that she has lived, like a kind of deja vu kind of thing. It is so real. She could smell his hair. And when she got up, she was confused. Was that a dream? Was that a premonition? Was that a vision of my past life? What was that? But I feel as if I know the individual, but I've never seen this person before in my life. This girl called Usha has a best friend called Chitralik. This Chitralik is she's mentioned many times in Bhagavad, but she's entering here because she's young. When people name their children Chitra, this is one of these reasons why they give her this name. Chitra came and she saw her friend sitting lost, and she's thinking about something. So, friend, what happened? What is this? What is wrong? What are you thinking about? She says his eyebrows were so nice. His smell was so pleasant. What are you talking about? Did your father bring somebody to see you, a suitor, somebody to get married? No, he was only in my dream. This dark complexion person with this yellow dhoti, he seems so calm, so peaceful, so tranquil. Looking at him, I feel happy. I have to find this person in reality. And she went on rambling like that. Chitra being the friend, she says, let me remove your doubt and your malady, your confusion, what is eating at your mind. This best friend bring Gandharva and staff from the castle, and they started draw now. And all the kings and princes from those around, Ugrasen, the uncle, Vasudev, the father of Krishna, who is Balaram, who is Krishna. She says he looks something like this one, like Krishna. Then they drew Pradyamna, he looks more like this one. And then when the princess saw Aniruddha, she says, yes, it is him. That is the person I saw in my dream. Chitra is somebody who has always been taught in Mohana type mantra. Her family believes in black magic. Remember, I think it's last night I was talking about the different purpose for mantra. People tend to say, I don't believe in bad. But if you read up on what your mantras are, the 6 purpose, the 6 types of mantra, it exists to stupefy, to confuse somebody. Mohana type mantra. Let me put a positive, practical approach to it. Have you ever heard somebody go to Pandit Neil, Pandit Raval? Guruji, I have an interview at the US Embassy. I have a job interview. And I want a mantra that when the person see me, they must fall in love. Without the mantra, they're going to like you. All right, another one. I'm going to see a girl for the first time, and I want the girl love me. And you want a mantra to take ugly and make it look handsome. The girl must get so corrupt and change in mind now what she would not have liked on her own. Give the boy a chance. But that is mind control. That is not natural. And that is what you call Vashikaran mantra. It is there. These types of prayer does exist. But the problem comes when people take the same mantra with its good purpose and twist it for nefarious purpose. So there is mantra, imagine a husband and a wife, many anniversaries, they're together, and the passion of the marriage has dwindled. They're getting older, as you see. And the old boy, yeah, making time for the lady, he ain't care. And that lady, around, let's say, 20, 25 years anniversary, is there a mantra I could say for my husband to love me? Maybe they're going for separation or divorce. Is there a prayer I could say to try one last time to save my marriage? Maybe the boy going wayward and there's a second Rukmani and a second this and a third that and going like that. Is there a prayer I could say to bring back and pull like a child? Come back here. Come back here. Yes, it have prayers like that. And in a case where the person is going wayward and really, really crazy, this is the purpose these prayers were created. But when now somebody wants to go, they watch somebody's wife, and with sexual and all type of perversion, they want to make the girl who is committed one way act in a different way. This is how people take the pure mantra and they twist it. This is the problem. So when we do, you see the Hanuman you have over your head here? You see the lion head, human body, that incarnation of Lord Vishnu. You take Narsingh Baba prayer, and you see people use potent mantra. You see when people come with their evil intentions, and they try to do bad, trust me, Hinduism has it. If you know your Dharma, you will find very simple prayers, Vishnu prayers, not no Simidi meeting. Nobody are jumping up naked in the middle of the night under a fig tree, nothing crazy like them kind of madness, but just Sattvic Vishnu's prayer. Dear God, the enemy is coming. When you hear people talk about Panchmukh Hanuman Kavach, dear God, the enemy is at my door, Bajrang Ban, they are coming, the bandit is coming, it's real. You have to destroy that. In every one of our Dharma, watch any Pitya except Saraswati and Lakshmi, they're different. But look at the Hindu God. We practice ahimsa, but all our gods are some dread warriors. And the truth is, sometimes it is have to fight. Me ain't going to interfere with anybody, but partner, the enemy is waiting to jump in your gap, touch your children, touch your boy, touch your girl, take your wife, take your life, you name it. So then you have to have a potent answer to defend yourself. When you hear somebody says, I'm using Hanuman Kavach or Narsingh Kavach. Kavach simply means the armor. Sit on my chest, sit on my back, my left side, my right side. That isn't inappropriate prayer. I'm talking to God. I'm just saying, if I walk, you walk in front. I don't know who is in front there. The enemy, in most cases, very attractive, smiling. Plenty of them, they say, is family. Gerd Puran, Prit Manjali says, sinful people are surrounded by people who say it is family, but they act like demons. Selfish needs, selfish want, and never really care for the person. If you're surrounded in a web of serpents like that, whether sickness, trouble, family trouble, marriage distress, you name it, if they could pull you down further, when they get the chance, they'll do it. So then you realize you're really born alone and you're going alone. Hold on to your prayers and let this man fight for you. Chitra Lake is grown in the art of using deception, mohana, confusion type mantras. Anything she wants, she goes to the black book, as it were, and she accesses prayer and power to get it. She has the ability to fly in the night, like what we hear about in folklore stories. Sukanya and them kind of thing. She says, I am going to Dwarka, and when this boy is asleep, I will bring him here without much fight, so that my friend, she will get the person she wants. So said, so done. Let's hear what happens in this next sloka. As she went to Dwarka, and whilst the person was sleeping, somebody moved him. Pahi, 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 Gajanana, Parvati Nanda, Gajanana.
Pahi, 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 Gajanana, Parvati Nanda, Gajanana.
Ekadanta Gajanana,
Ekadanta Gajanana,
Ekadanta Gajanana,
Ekadanta Gajanana,
Anekadantam Gajanana,
Anekadanta
Gajanana, Pahi, 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 Gajanana, Parvati Nanda, Gajanana.
Pahi, 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 Gajanana, Parvati Nanda, Gajanana.
Kama Dvijatam Bhuvana Sundar Pradyamuna Putraye Daga Sambhariksha Yena Brihate Kundala Kundala Hityasve Pahi 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 Pahi
Pahi, pahi, Gajanana, Parvati Nanda, Gajanana.
Lambodar He Gajanana,
Lambodare Gajanana,
Lambodar He Gajanana,
Lambodare Gajanana,
Lambodar Gaj Vicharana,
Lambodare Gajanana.
Pahi 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 Pahi
Gajanana, Parvati Nanda, Gajanana.
Satyam Prishta Bhana Suryena Brihita तेजद्विजयाते मध्यम उद्धम येना भौरा ये परिध्यावे कृष्णातम पाहि 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 पाहि
पाहि पाहि गजानना पार्वती नंदा गजानना
पार्वती नंदा गजानना पार्वती नंदा Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki jai. Pahi Pahi means save me, save me, save me, save me, save me. Brahmavaivat Puran shows one of the incarnation of Ganesh Baba, one of the sources is Krishna. It is that discourse explains why he is so lumbo, dara, the belly big. In that discourse, you get to hear how Krishna accepts the love of his devotee. They sent Aniruddha to sleep, and you think your children safe. But when they got up, no Aniruddha. That this force came in the depth of night and kidnapped this individual from the sleep, from the castle, and takes him to the apartment of where Usha is. And everybody, you can imagine, everybody, the alarm is sent off the next morning, and everybody searching high and low in Dwarka, but no Aniruddha. Narad Muni comes and he says, "O Krishna, O Kanha, Banasur's daughter has taken your grandson, and he has them in Shonitapur. If you go there, you will be able to get back your kit, your family." In this way, the son of Bali, he gets very the grandfather of Aniruddha, Krishna, gets upset that this is how people would treat the person who is protecting them. If Dwarka is made for the protection of people, why would you try to invigor a fight? Why attack innocent? Don't you know what will happen? Sukdev Goswami says, for 4 months they had Aniruddha trapped in that room. That girl wasn't giving him a chance to leave, that he might escape. To be honest, all forms of lust and sexual favor started to happen. And the attendants of the princess went to the father and said, "Dad, Rajan, your daughter is doing things that are inappropriate for this house. And you are a servant of Lord Shiva, and look at what your child is doing. She is a girl child and she has no decorum, she has no modesty, she is not concerned. And if this should come out that you are allowing it," as many parents get blamed when children do their due, "you are allowing it in your house, you will be the bearer of the stain rather than the child. The child is a child, but the parents are accountable," based on what we talked about last night, when Mother Earth bent her head in shame. Banasur rushes to the daughter's apartment, and to his surprise, he sees somebody looking like if he was Krishna himself, relaxing on a couch playing dice with his daughter. His daughter does not pay heed that her father just came into the room. The daughter is as if she's stupefied and she's lost. And when the father scrambled Aniruddha and he wants to put him in chains and in the dungeon, the little girl says, "It is I who brought him here. He is not at fault. He was not in any way in a capacity to make a decision. And he wants to live here. If you take him out of this room, he'll be very happy. He will hold on to your feet. Oh, Father, leave him here." Whilst this little predicament is unfolding inside the house, Pradyamna and Balram and all others, Samba, Sharana and all the other children of Krishna, have amassed a great army outside the boundary of Shonitapur. But when they came up, when Balram, being the elder, walked up on the city, the form of Rudra, because of the prayer of Bana, Lord Shiva appears in front of them, Trishul in hand, ready to fight. Skandha, or this one who is known as Kartik, riding his bull, gives them advice to turn around. Otherwise, you're going to have to fight us. And in this way, Lord Shiva does beat all the sons of Krishna. Balram is left unconscious. And the word is sent back through Narad Muni. Oh Krishna, you've sent your sons to do your work, and now they are lying, drooling, bleeding in the dust outside that man's city. What is this? What type of warrior sends children to fight? Krishna jumps onto the chariot with Daruk, his charioteer that came from Vaikuntha, and they make ready to press forward. Let's hear what happens when Krishna reaches where Lord Shiva is standing. Radha, 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 Govinda, Radhe, 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 Govinda, Radhe, 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 Govinda, Radhe, Govinda, Radhe, Gopal, Radhe, Govinda, Radhe, Gopal, Radhe, Govinda, Radhe, Gopal, Radhe, Govinda, Radhe, Gopal, Radhe, 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 Govinda, Radhe, 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 Govinda, Radhe, Tani Chitah Bhagavanye na Yudha Paraye Saurat Rathayishwara Maheshwara Shankara Pura Ye Nath Narayan Koti Rudra Nagare Sayapura Shonita Pura Skandha Ye Krishna Ye Putragam Radhe 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 Govinda Radhe Govinda Radhe 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 Govinda Radhe 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 Govinda Radhe Govinda Radhe Gopal Radhe Govinda Radhe Gopal Radhe Govinda Radhe Gopal Radhe Govinda Radhe Gopal Radhe 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 Govinda Radhe 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 Govinda Radhe 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 Govinda Radhe. Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki Jai. Madhav Baba, seeing him approach on this unique chariot. This chariot, the one that could hold the weight of Krishna, couldn't be man-made. It comes from Vaikuntha. And when Krishna has to give up later on, I believe is Skandha 11 or 12 of Bhagavad, when Krishna has to give up the form where the people tree comes, this is why in that discourse you hear the chariot of Krishna, the charioteer, they ascend back to heaven. It is not of this earth. It is different. When he's going to leave, the city of Dwarka has to go into the water. Every gift that he brought has to leave. When that chariot, that same chariot pulled up in front of this city, Lord Shiva says, O incarnation of Mahavishnu, I know you've come upon this earth to rid the earth of negative. But because of the prayer of this demonic form, I find myself in a funny position. That today I am warning you, do not cross this boundary. If you come, I would have to fight you, dear God. And Lord Shiva lifts the Trishul. But it's a funny fight. Because Krishna doesn't stop. He drags his sword. And when the blade of Lord Krishna hit the Trishul, the only time that Trishul that we all associate with the lingam is broken is when Krishna hits it with his sword. Lord Shiva bent his head and allowed him to pass. And Banasur became very angry and started to fight. Now remember, Banasur has 1,000 arms. He's very strong. He uses 500 bows and release an arrow for each bow simultaneously. Krishna uses the Sudarshan Chakra and cuts all those arrows down. When Bana was about to be hit detrimentally, his mother, Kotara, uses black magic and she strips her body nude. And when she became naked, Krishna looked away. And when he looked away and he wasn't watching Bana, Bana moved. Lord Shiva is called upon by Bana. Bana uses Shiv prayers. And he says, you who are in charge of all the goblin and all the boot, all the entities that live on the cemetery ground, send a raging fever. Send strong fever to hit Krishna. For people who jari and they use mantras, you see it in the latter part of Garud Puran, where they are using the nidhidam or the prayer or the, if you boil this, you could drink that and you'll get help with fever, like clove and stuff. In those prayers, you will always hear jwara. Jwara is the energy of the goddess that gives the person the feeling or the sensation of fever. How you feel, mash up, how nothing is physically wrong with you, but the feelings is different. You don't have appetite, etc. This Shivite form of this fever went to Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna brings out his fever. If you've ever heard somebody say, I have a headache to the front of my head, I have a headache to the middle of my head, I have a headache to the back of my head, it is possible to get different from different reason or from different where's the word? From a different cause, a headache. For different, if I have a tension headache, taking a particular tablet may not help. If I get something like vertigo, a different tablet might work. In the same way, the Shivite fever and the Vaishnavite fever is something that plagues people. It have one that comes with the changing of the season, and then it have one that comes with terminal illness, the one that takes life. The one that comes from the body of Lord Vishnu is usually the one that takes life. These two fever, imagine two ghost form, start a fight between Krishna and Banasur. Whilst these two are going at it, Lord Vishnu's fever triumphs over Lord Shiva. And that fever in that ghostly form kneels and begs Lord Krishna in a long prayer. Please forgive me, but whenever from today, if you spare me, whenever I rise up in a person, and a person should call your name, O Krishna, I will leave, I will abandon the patient. For this reason, O Parikshit, when people have different, have you ever gone and see somebody jari like this and they're pulling on your forehead? They're saying Christian mantra to rid the person of these types of symptoms. One, cause. Two, what is causing the fever? Come out. Come out. What is coming out? What is, think what I said. What coming off? We just talk as if something is sitting on the person and we want it to lift off. Like something is possessing the person. In our Dharma, this is an example of where the possession is being described as a fever, and this entity changed the person, vision, how their physical outlook. You ever hear somebody say, oh God, you're looking like you're sick. You're looking like your face swell, you get puffy now, you're retaining water, different things happening. How is this happening if something is not changing you? But when you look at the cells, when you look at the genetics, nothing is changing. But we have a fever. For this reason, the person utilizes prayer. If you ever see the Hindu blowing water and they drink it, or they use prayer, or they use basma, and then they take from the hawan with the mantra of Lord Vishnu, like how they're doing Gayatri there with Dumbra wood, and then they will take it, and you see when the yag finish, they put the tilak on their body. You do it too when you go and you get vibhuti from Sai Baba. If you look at Dattatreya Swami and you see that black tikka on his forehead, that black tikka is basma from the fire. The person did hawan jap, and from the ashes they are using it to purify their body and purify their aura. In this way, when you use Vishnu's mantra, the Shiv type of fever has to go. The person, if you watch Lord Shiva, and I see he just be putting it all on his shoulder, on his chest, this Tripunda Tilak, wherever pain lives, Lord Shiva, you take up residence and move the symptoms of my sickness. For this reason, in Devi Bhagwat, here now, you will hear that the Hindu utilizes basma regularly for this reason. Vrindavan Bihari Lala ki jai. Lord Krishna lift his hand and bless this kind of a saying goes for children to understand. Ghostly figure, this fever-like figure. When that was done, Shiv Baba comes and for 12 verses drops to the foot of Krishna. Bless me that one day I must serve you. Today you have beat me and I got the opportunity to fight you. And because of that, I got to enjoy this little leela that we enacted. Bless me today. I have a boon to ask for. I have a request. Bless me to have the ability to grant you your desire. And because of this prayer, when Lord Krishna is asked by Jamanti, the wife, I would like to have a son and I want my son to be popular like Rukmani's son, like Satyabhama's son. They all have great leela and great, great times, great patra, great history tagged to their name. I want a child with that ability as well. Go to Lord Shiva and pray to him. Wife telling husband this, go and get that for me. And he does go. And he sits down and he prays. In Shiv Puran, they talk about Upamanyu, guiding Krishna how to do Shiv Puja. When Lord Shiva appears, he says, I want a child. I want this child so that this child has great merit and power. He says, everything you're asking me, it exists, but I don't think there's any other soul or Jeev to give you that. In order for you to get what you want, I will have to come as your son. So Lord Shiva incarnates, yes, we know Hanuman for Sri Ram. Lord Shiva incarnates as the son of Lord Krishna. But it is not as nice as the Hanuman Katha. It was time for Krishna to give up the form. And that son, that Samba is his name, caused all the trouble in the life of Krishna. We'll talk more about that tomorrow. So Lord Shiva gains the blessing that I promise I will come to you and I will come at you with a request. I will beg you for your favor. I will say prayers to you, O Shiva, to get that help. And he says further to this, one day I will save you. Today I am fighting you and I am beating you. But one day I will protect you. Don't worry. Wherever I am, know that my protection, my blessing will always be with you and the people that pray to you. When Lord Shiva is still on his knees, Banasur got up from the swoon, the unconscious state that he was in, and Lord Vishnu let loose the Swadarshana chakra, and it went around him, and all the arms that he had, 1,000 arms, he cut off all, cleaving all the arms so that he had no ability to hold weapon. And coming to the end, now only 4 remain on his body. Lord Shiva says, please spare my devotee. He says, I am not going to destroy him. I can't. Because of the prayer of Prahalad when I was here in nursing form, Prahalad prayed, bless me and bless my family that you would not destroy us. For that reason, Prahalad grandson, Raja Bali, did not die. But he went to Patalok, and he has to help Krishna get back the soul of the Guru's son. And he goes back to him one more time. There's a katha coming up concerning you know, Devaki had 6 sons that were bashed by cons, pelted and beat on the wall. Raja Bali has to go and help him get back those boys. He says, I can't kill him. Even if I wanted, even if I am fed up of this arrogance, I cannot destroy him. So I am going to leave him at 4 arms, but now very humble because he has no power anymore. People that get good from God and then use it to harm and damn other people. When people forget the humility they once had, understand that they could be doing what prayers? They are going to end up on the wrong side of destiny. And the same people that fly high one day sometimes have to get dragged down into the gutter to learn the lesson of humility. And he says, believe me, there is no favorite in my line. There is no, I like vegetarian people more than the man who eating hog and dog. There's nowhere it says that your texture of your hair is this way or I love you more. And you have a different hair texture, I love you less. You're a male, I love you more. Female, I love you less. You are heterosexual, I only love you. You see anybody mark homosexual, I don't love them. Our Dharma says we love everybody. God make it, we love it. God make it, we respect it. As a Hindu, I could feed a dog, I could feed a bird, I could feed a lady, I could feed an elder, I could feed a child. I see God inside everybody. And with that equal vision, it is not my place to judge. This is what Sanatana Dharma teaches. People get carried away and they lose the sight of where God really lives. And for this reason, when you hear somebody say, they are God realized, maybe in simple terms for children, you realize where God lives. You realize where God really wants. And all of this that we have is really a time spent in doing a course on God for crazy people like me and you to really learn a lesson before we get too much of burning and pain in our life to learn the same lesson. Learn it easy. Take the heeding, take the warning, and change. So that the day you have to walk back to God, you do it easier. However, some people have to see murder, kidnap, rape, harm, damn, divorce, child dying. We talked about that last night, what it is for a parent to live to see children dying, and God make everybody, God make that too, truthfully. He allowed it to happen. But karma is at play. And when the person has to experience karma like that, I agree it's rough. As a pundit, imagine crazy me went to do a funeral and I tell somebody, well, you know, they had to die, it was karma. What you gonna do is karma. Well, that would be the fastest you'll see this pundit get pelted out of somebody else. The reason we have moments like this, while things are good in your life, be the responsible Sanatanist and put it in perspective. This is God talking to you. Not everybody could be here. Not everybody has the discipline to make the time management to be here. You get to be here because of His wish. Nobody else wants. There are people who left home and because of this yellow warning business where we have with rain, couldn't reach. Truthfully. But you get to hear what? Be very cautious that when reading Bhagavad or listening to Bhagavad, you know, in many books you have, and I said it the other night, the Gita slok, and then we have this big thing called purport. I don't know if you ever see it in your book. Purport is like the pundit talking, the explanation. And whilst that is a helpful tool, it has the effect of the pundit talking, but you're not hearing the word of God. The word of God coming from His discourse, His history, is what purifying your soul. Just as you could understand that Gayatri mantra, I could explain it, but the words of the Gayatri, that 2 line is what gives you the blessing. When reading and listening to Bhagavad, you give the Bhagavad. The person in the audience has to learn. Whilst, yes, you want to punctuate it with little applications that children could appreciate in today's world, because in these days it didn't have cell phone. For example, it didn't have social media. So to put it into context, good, but don't get carried away. We didn't come here to talk about what in the pot, or to gossip, or to ill speak somebody, or to break somebody. We came here to talk about God, the end. If after accomplishing that, let the karma flow through you. When you hear somebody call somebody Brahman, Brahman is somebody who understands Brahman, the energy that is the constituent of everything in this world. Let me say in simple language in Trinidad, the Shakti. Children go to school to learn what is a solid, liquid, and gas, and the covalent bonds that hold the atoms together. In Hinduism, we call that Durga. That is making the tree. It looks different, but all tree is tree. They feed the same way. All humans look different, but the blood vessels and the heart, the mechanism is the same. And you see the similarity rather than look for differences. And then you learn. Then you learn what really God represents. And you act accordingly. Vindravandi Harilalaki Jai. So we have our Babas with us today, everybody again. Let me start with Pandit Sunil. Baba, please come and give me a blessing. Thank you for being here with me, with your family. Pandit Varun. All they like my drama, look at my drama. A round of applause, please. Pandit Varun. Pandit Sunil is somebody who was with us last year and he's been with me doing prayer for many years. But this year, he became a little busy. But I'm appreciative that he still had the time to come and support me. Baba.
Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. O most reverend Pandit Vyasji, my good brother Pandit Keshava, other Pandits, devotees Sitaram. This afternoon it gave me great pleasure to be here. Pandit really asked me to be here to be his pujari. When I look at my diary, I was very busy. But I said to myself, out of the busy time, I have to at least one session I want to be here. Because last year I really enjoyed this Bhagavad. So we visited. My son here said, better we make some other arrangements and we can be here for the 7th. But when I showed him my diary, I said it's very difficult to be here. But it is indeed the blessings. It is said with the blessings of Lord Krishna, you can reach in a Bhagavad. It is said that we are fortunate at this point to reach in this Bhagavad. You know, Pandit, long ago when we had Bhagavad, I now started to learn Panditai. And we sit with the senior Pandits. When we had a break, we wasn't to go and walk around those days. We had to sit with them and listen to them, and they said, go through the Kathas with us. But one day one of the senior Pandits said to me, there was a guru. And the guru was asked by one of his chela to bring a mirror for him. But when the guru went to this town, he says that, I will give my chela the best gift. And when he returned, the guru didn't bring a mirror. He brought the Bhagavad. When he brought the Bhagavad Purana, he gave it to the Shishya. The Shishya said to the Guru, why it is you giving me this book? I cannot see my face within this book. I want a mirror that can look at my beautiful face into it. Then the Guru said to the Shishya, this book is a mirror. Look into it spiritually and you'll make yourself a better person. When you come to the Bhagavad, Katha, we listen very quietly. We look into this book and we make ourselves a better person. And when you have a Vyas like our Pandit here, he will give us a better track. So Panditji, thank you for the opportunity to be here. I will try to come another session. Okay? And sorry for what had happened. Maybe if you want me next year, you have to book me very early. Right? But I see you have a young and vibrant Pandit, my good friend Pandit Dave. Yes, so he's doing a good job. So thank you, Sitaram. I'll try. I'm not a good singer like you. Okay. Hari Om Namo Bhagavati Vasudeva. You know, I'm not accustomed to sing without harmonium, right? So I'll try. Shri Radhe Govinda Gopala Tera Pyara Naam hai, Pyara Naam hai, Tera Pyara Naam hai. Shri Radhe Govinda
गोपाला तेरा प्यारा नाम श्री राधे गोविंदा गोपाला तेरा प्यारा नाम है तेरा प्यारा नाम है प्यारा नाम है तेरा प्यारा नाम है श्री राधे गोविंदा गोपाला तेरा प्यारा नाम है कोई कहे वसुदेव की नंदन कोई कहे नंदलाला कोई कहे वसुदेव की नंदन कोई कहे नंदलाला राधे गोविंदा गोपाला तेरा प्यारा नाम श्री राधे गोविंदा
गोपाला तेरा प्यारा नाम गोपाला तेरा प्यारा नाम है गोपाला तेरा प्यारा नाम है
Shri Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki jai. So Pandit ji give me a test today, right? I sung without a harmonium. I never sung without a harmonium. Yes, I always need my harmonium. So thank you. Okay.
बोलो श्री कृष्ण चंद्र भगवान की Let us pray everyone. बोलो श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरि मुरारी हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव श्री कृष्ण गोविंद
हरि मुरारी हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा
श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरि मुरारी
श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी
श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरि मुरारी
श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी
हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा
नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा
श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरि मुरारी हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा
श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा
नमस्ते देवस्य रक्षाणोर देवता नमस्ते हम देवस्य आदिशक्ति देवता हरि राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण
हरे हरे
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
ओम नमो भगवते Govinda Hare Murari, He Nath Narayan Vasudeva,
He Nath Narayan Vasudeva.
Krishna Govinda Hare Murari, He Nath Narayan Vasudeva,
Krishna Govinda Hare Murari, He Nath Narayan Vasudeva.
He Nath Narayan Vasudeva, He Nath Narayan Vasudeva. Bola Shri Krishna Chanda Bhagavan ki Jai.
I enjoy being around young people. I think it's important, especially when it comes to our Bhagavad, the structure of it. If we're not careful, if we don't give these young fellas a chance, we will have a problem in the near future. Because everybody is working and they are not getting the opportunity. Everybody complains. This Bhagavad thing is so much a work, Baba. I agree. The only way you could pull a Bhagavad now, truth, to do it correct, is if you get some good people together. Not only one family. One family can't do it. But if you do not give these boys the opportunity to hone their skills, for example, Pandit Dev, for this Yag, I can't remember what we did with our time last year for Bhagavad. But for example, if you look at in the Bedi there, on the height, I put it in a way for everybody to see the triangle with all the flags. People do it. Watch in front of it by Christian Foot there. People do the prayer for the Chausat Yogni or the 64 Devis. But they don't know, for example, one of the flag, just one. One of the flag, you see when food spoil to go from good to bad so quick. It ever happened to all it? How that food spoils? It wasn't supposed to spoil. It comes because remember, as we said before, there's no devil in Hinduism. Good and bad tests, good and bad deeds come from that same God. But in that triangle is 64 forms of ladies that give trouble. Like in this example, spoil the food. The food run out. We trying to have a yag, somebody might die, God forbid. Somebody end up in an argument. There's vexation, something to corrupt the prayer, throw off the prayer. All it is, mother is saying, let me see what you're going to do. I'm going to put a little spoke in your plan. Let me see what you're going to do. So the person who is doing the prayer is begging, Ma, please, before we even start, you calm down. I, who come from so and so address, doing prayer and I offer in your sweet rice. Girl, how you offer in karma, it says so it is get. I given you sweet stuff, bless me with sweet time. For 7 days I want to do my offering and I would like to have a good, exciting, wonderful experience. When I finish my jog, I must cry, I must feel it. If it be 7 days for Bhagavad, on the 9th day, I must wish I could have been in the temple. When it is done properly. So for example, Pandit Dev is doing Hawan throughout the Yag, personal and then with the team, to hone, not only the Puja, Sindur, Saffron by the Chausat, but the name of each one. The Hawan to Shanti each one of the name. To do Kshetrapal, Shanti Puja and different pray. That the day somebody comes and says, for example, somebody throws something, I find a bag with some coins by my gate and I don't know where it come from. It have something we could do. To give them the ammunition, not only to give the Shrota or the person in the audience help, but the Pandit need a little help too. You think about it. If everybody comes with the Siddha and says, Baba, please accept the Dan, and the Pandit doesn't know what to do with that material, the troubles of that person is going to become part and parcel of the Pandit. The person is entering in this life with this Janev and this lifestyle, but they are taught that Gayatri is your friend. You have to use Gayatri. But it's only if somebody says, listen, when you help somebody, you are helping take their sin, their suffering. And you have to get it off your back. So take your hand, go in the bag, get some of the red bean, and go and do some Hawan. Use it for Gayatri and burn the unclean. Because think about it, watch how it is work. If your karma says, for example, you're going to get bad fever and die this year. But then, Baba, it have anything I could do, boy? Yeah, do X, Y, and Z. So I just help you cheat. Because when you do your prayers, you will see change in your life. For cheating, Baba want to give you a pound of red bean. You, the pundit, have to account for that. So if you, the pundit, is not sitting down doing Gayatri, the troubles that you are accumulating, you're toting bag like a donkey toting cane on your back, that sin, they start to make the pundit twist. The same person, check them when they get older, get very sick. How this applies to you, if the pundit who is doing your procedure is not doing Gayatri, when I give the dan and I say, listen, I have problem, I want to do some good, I want to give charity, and I believe in my dharma, I'd say, when I feed you, when I give gifts to you, you will take it, and when you walk out, my trouble walking out with it. But you are saying Gayatri, you are keeping up your side of the deal. So now when I give in, but me I see no change in my life, man. So you encourage your Baba. You encourage, listen to God what I saying, you need that Baba. So the time you take to take your mouth and ill speak, beat and bury these guys, Baba, I need you to do some Gayatri in my house, boy. Do me the favor and spend 15 more minutes in my prayer. And do that Gayatri. Gayatri is our most powerful prayer because it's the prayer that could take off sin. When you learn the innards of your dharma, when you know your stuff and nobody can pull wool over your eye and nobody can, hit you 5 for 9. The day you go to do a little puja, a little flag, nothing big, nowhere close to Bhagavad, simple prayer, you will start to see the goodness walk into your life. You will see accident coming, the car is coming to hit, and somehow I just swerve away. How you do that? I don't know. How you get away from that trouble with the child? I don't know. How you recuperate from dengue? I don't know. How you live after a robbery? I don't know. Something divine saved me that day. But it don't come just so. It begins with you. I am just trying, the team here in the ashram is just trying to give you the recipe to build that cake in your life. You don't know? Now you know. Everybody, I'm glad I get this time to spend with all you. I see people from all St. Helena and things. God bless all you. Nice to have all you. We stand for the arti. For those of you that came from a distance, I have I have the type of pundits that do Gayatri Jap in my circle right now. If you would like, and I have some good singer and thing, and we want to stretch the singer a little bit. If you would like, take a hint. Come borrow one of the tarrier. If it have flowers, you're there home by me, don't worry, you're free, you're free. Come and take a tarrier and arti. Yes, you're God, but arti a Baba and touch and get your blessing. Don't reach and never worship. You're cheating yourself. When you get the chance to do it, don't shame. Go and take up some flowers. You no tarrier, go and take up some flowers. Pon the day, go hook you up. And you feel free to rest it. Come and rest your head by the Bhagavad. If you get to reach nowhere, come reach by me and just rest your head here. And God bless you, because when you have trouble, nobody is helping you then. Let me go together, everybody. All you want to sing the arti? Hey, welcome to my temple. We just only meet on social media, right? Sing the arti.
जय 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 भागवतम जय 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 भागवतम बोलो जय 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 भागवतम
जय 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 भागवतम
जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती पापियों को पाप से है
भागवत भगवान की है आरती पापियों को पाप से है आरती
ये अमर ग्रंथ ये मूर्ति पंथ ये पंचम वेद निराला नव ज्योति जगाने वाला
ये अमर ग्रंथ ये मुक्ति पंथ ये पंचम वेद निराला नव ज्योति जगाने वाला
हरि ज्ञान यही वरदान
मिटाने
जग के मंगल की
आरती पापियों को पाप से है आरती जय भागवत भगवान
की
है आरती पापियों को पाप से है आरती
जय 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 भागवतम
जय 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 भागवतम
ये शांत देव पावन पुनीत पापों को मिटाने वाला हरि दर्शन दिखाने वाला
ये शांत गीत पावन पुनीत स्वापों को मिटाने वाला हरि दर्शन दिखाने वाला
ये सुख करने है दुख हरने
है सुख करने है दुख हरने
ये मधुर सुदर्शन आरती
पापियों को पाप से है आरती जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती पापियों को पाप से है आरती
जय 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 भागवतम
जय 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 भागवतम
ये मधुर बोल जग बंद खोल सन्मार्ग दिखाने वाला बिगड़ी को बनाने वाला
ये मधुर बोल जग पंड बोल मार्ग दिखाने वाला बिगड़ी को बनाने वाला
श्री राम यही घनश्याम यही
श्री राम यही घनश्याम यही
प्रभु की महिमा की आरती
पापियों को पाप से है तारती जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती पापियों को पाप से है आरती जय 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 भागवतम जय 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 भागवतम जय 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 भागवतम जय 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 भागवतम ये अमर ग्रंथ ये मुक्ति पंथ ये पंचम वेद निराला नव ज्योति जमाने वाला
ये अमर ग्रंथ ये मुक्ति पंथ ये पंचम वेद निराला सब ज्योति जगाने वाला
हरि ज्ञान यही वरदान हरि ज्ञान यही वरदान जग के मंगल की आरती पापियों को पाप से है आरती जय भागवतम
जय 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 भागवतम
जय 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 भागवतम जय जय जय
भागवतम चित चोरा यशोदा की बात नवनीत जोड़ गोपाल
जित चोरा यशोदा Murali Ganjalola.
गोविंद हरे गोपाल हरे हे गोपी गोपमाला
Pal Hari, He Murali Ganjalola. Jai Giridhar Gopala, Jai Jai Giridhar Gopala,
जय जय गिरिधर गोपाला
Jai Jai Giridhar Gopala,
जय जय गिरिधर गोपाला जय जय गिरिधर गोपाला
Ita Chola Yashoda Ki Baag,
नवनीत चोर गोपाल चित चोरा यशोदा की बाल नवनीत चोर गोपाल नवनीत चोर गोपाल नवनीत चोर गोपाल
Put your hands together now. And they get to sing on the mic. We have to sing for Krishna a little bit. Bhagavad is a book, is a gospel of bhakti. How to have devotion. How I must be. It has some people, they numb. But when I learn about my Krishna, when I get to absorb, when I get to remember, we already know. When you go to Bhagavad, if it is only the feeling, pay attention to you now. I came to prayers, I was one way, and if done correct, Bhagavad is supposed to make you feel very quiet, very calm, as if I had a purpose, I did my purpose, and now I could continue. That peacefulness that we strive for in prayer is part of devotion. That I took the energy that God gave me in this body and I offered it to God. And I feel so accomplished. I feel so calm that inside of me there's no pride, there's no boast, there is no false pride, there is no vanity, lust. I am not studying who's standing next to me right now. I am just thinking, dear God, thank you for your grace in the form of finance, job, stability, health, happiness, for anniversaries, birthdays. If you lost somebody, dear God, give me the strength to survive. With your support, I could do it. Without your support, I'm a lifeless body. Thank you for the opportunity to be in the company of good people doing godly things. As we conclude this section, this session of Bhagavad, dear God, accept my prayer and accept me. While I say in this prayer, you talk to him. Only you know your trouble. We're on the last leg of our Bhagavad. Couple of days again and we're going to close. I don't know, God, about tomorrow. I don't know if I'll be afforded the opportunity to come in your house, to come in your prayers, to eat your prasad, to do something like this. I don't know. If this be my moment, if this be my opportunity, please hear my prayer. You talk to God. Dear God, I have this problem, that problem. I need some assistance. I have no problem. Thank you for everything. Whatever that prayer is, say it. Tvameva mata cha pita tvameva tvameva bandhuscha tvameva vidya tvameva sarvam Tvameva sarvam mama deva deva. Together, everybody. Om Shanti, 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 Hari Om. Prem Samalo Mahapati Mahadeva ki, Pauna Putra Hanuman ki, Shri Adi Shakti Mata ki, Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki, Satya Sanatan Dharma ki, Jai. Jai Jai. Sitaram. Sitaram, everybody.
Sitaram.
Please have your seat. Whilst they're doing